El Filibusterismo, the sequel to Jose Rizal's Noli Me Tangere, is a literary masterpiece that delves into the social and political landscape of 19th century Philippines, known in English as the Reign of Greed. It continues the story of the Philippines under Spanish rule, highlighting the struggles of the Filipinos at that time. This is a tale of revenge, revolution, and the relentless pursuit of freedom.
Jose Rizal was born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Laguna. He was the seventh of the 11 children born to a relatively well-off family in a Dominican-owned tenant land in Calamba, Laguna. He began writing El Filibusterismo in 1887 during his first homecoming to Calamba. Amidst the threats and oppression faced by his family due to his first novel, Noli Me Tangere, and the so-called Calamba agrarian trouble, Rizal's determination to finish his work never wavered.
He continued writing in various cities across Europe: London, Paris, Brussels, until he finally completed it in Biarritz on March 29, 1891. His friend Jose Alejandrino helped him find a printing press in Ghent. However, financial constraints plagued the process, forcing Rizal to pawn his possessions. It was only through the help of his friend, Valentin Ventura, that the book was finally published in 1891. Ventura's support was crucial, earning him the title of Savior of El Fili.
In a letter to Jose Basa dated July 9, 1891, he related, "For the past 3 months, I have not received a single centavo. So, I have bound all that I have in order to publish this book. I will continue publishing it as long as I can, and when there is nothing to pawn, I will stop."
Valentin Ventura's crucial financial help ensured that El Filibusterismo saw the light of day, a testimony to the power of solidarity in the sacrifices made for freedom.
El Filibusterismo was a call to action, a mirror to the abuses of the Spanish regime, and a dedication to the memory of the tragic execution of the martyred priests, Don Mariano Gomez, Don Jose Burgos, and Don Jacinto Zamora, collectively known as Gumborla, denouncing the injustice they suffered and inspiring the generation to question the oppressive colonial regime. The term filibustero resonated deeply within the Filipino consciousness. It was synonymous with revolutionary and dissident, embodying the spirit of resistance against oppression. To the memory of the priests Don Mariano Gomez, Don Jose Burgos, and Don Jacinto Zamora, executed in the Bagong Bayan field, I have the right to dedicate my work to you as a victim of the evil which I undertake to combat.
El Filibusterismo portrays a society on the brink of upheaval, capturing the rampant abuses by the Spanish authorities. In the growing unrest among Filipino, the main character persistent to push through with the rebellion seems to suggest that independence is attainable through revolution. However, the closing chapters rather insinuated that freedom must be attained without bloodshed, as the story ends with the failure of Simeon's plan to appraise him.
The novel's ending, some scholars explain, however, reflects Rizal's opposition to an unprepared and disorganized rebellion rather than a categorical stance against revolution. While he advocated for peaceful reforms, Rizal supported the idea of armed revolution under certain conditions, emphasizing the need for an upright, patriotic, and selfless individual like the Nolles Elias as a revolutionary leader.
¡Sinvergüenza! ¡Animales!
Rizal wrote the El Filibusterismo about 4 years after the Noli. The experience he had in those 4 years spelled a lot of differences the way he created his 2 novels.
That's right. Generally, El Fili presents a gloomier depiction of the country under the Spanish regime. More radical and revolutionary, the novel has less idealism and romance than Noli. The El Fili manifests Rizal's more mature and less hopeful attitude toward the social-political situation in the country. The grimmer outlook and the more tragic mood can be attributed to the persecutions and sufferings the author and his family experienced from the Spanish friars and officials in the years he was writing the novel.
Jose wrote to Blumentritt, "I have not written in it any idea of the vengeance against my enemies, but only for the good of those who suffer, for the rights of Tagalogs." The story follows Simon, a wealthy jeweler who is actually Crisostomo Ibarra, the protagonist from Noli Me Tangere, now seeking revenge against the Spanish authorities. Through manipulation and cunning, Simon plans a revolution driven by his desire to rescue his beloved Maria Clara. However, the planned revolt one night was not carried out because Simon, upon hearing that Maria Clara died in the nunnery, decided not to give the signal for the outbreak of the uprising.
Another plan was made some months later. At the venue of the wedding reception of Juanito Pelaez and Paulita Gomez, Simon plants a bomb disguised as a kerosene lamp intended to kill the friars and the Spanish officials and signal at the start of a revolution.
Sagani,
Isagani's love for Paulita leads him to thwart the plan, throwing the lamp into the river where it explodes harmlessly. Simon's revolutionary plot was thus known, and he is thus hunted by the law enforcers.
Padre, ako po talaga ay si Crisostomo Ibarra na nagbalik sa katauhan ni Simon para sa plano kong maghiganti at simulan ang madugong revolusyon.
God will forgive you, Senor Simon. He knows that we are fallible. He has seen that you have suffered. He has frustrated us one by one. First, by the death of Maria Clara. Then, by the lack of preparation. Then, in some mysterious way, he does bow to his will and render him thanks.
The story ends with the priest throwing Simon's treasures into the sea so that they would not be used by the greedy. The priest hopes that when the right time comes, they would be recovered and used only for the good. Simon's tragic end symbolizes the complexities of the fight for freedom, a blend of noble intentions and the harsh realities of betrayal and loss.
Comparing Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo reveals Rizal's evolving perspective on colonial society, while Noli is more hopeful and idealistic, El Fili is somber and confrontational, reflecting Rizal's increased disillusionment.
In his October 13, 1891 letter to Marcelo del Pilar, he, without irony or words with a double meaning, said, "For me, the El Filibusterismo as a novel is inferior to the Noli. I still know how to judge myself."
Despite its darker tone, El Fili remains a powerful indictment of colonial rule and a testament to the enduring struggle for justice.
The original manuscripts of Noli and El Fili, along with that of the poem Mi Ultimo Adios, were stolen from the National Library on the evening of December 8, 1961. The thieves demand 1.4 million pesos for return of the original text, else Rizal had the works would be burned.
To summarize the historic robbery, the then Education Secretary Alejandro Andeng Rosas personally met with the burglars and after some various negotiations retrieved the documents without paying a single centavo. The thieves, believing the manuscripts were haunted, returned them without ransom after a negotiation led by Education Secretary Alejandro Rosas.
This manuscript, they felt heavy as a caravan influence. This manuscript must be holy or haunted. Magsarap basahin. Kinikilabutan ako.
So you should return them, and no charges will be filed.
El Filibusterismo and its predecessor, Noli Me Tangere, plays a crucial role in awakening Filipino nationalism. These novels not only expose the harsh realities of colonial rule, but also inspired a movement that would eventually lead to the Philippine Revolution.
Rizal's novels, banned and censored in their time, ignited the flames of revolution. They exposed the corruption of Spanish regime and inspired a generation to seek freedom and justice. Rizal's work are more than literary masterpieces. They are called to action, reminders of the power of words to challenge justice and inspire change.
As we look back on Rizal's legacy, we are reminded that the fight for freedom is ongoing and that every act of courage, no matter how small, contributes to the larger quest for justice.
El Filibusterismo, a legacy of courage and resilience forever etched in the heart of the Filipino people. This documentary is dedicated to the enduring spirit of freedom and the memory of those who have fought for justice throughout history.